Is Jeremy Corbyn's Your Party the future of the UK left, or just another flash in the pan? I'm Mike Sivyer of Vox Political. For months now, political observers and activists alike have been buzzing about the sudden emergence of a new political entity, the temporarily titled Your Party, spearheaded by Jeremy Corbyn, former Labour leader, and MP Zarah Sultana. Despite not even having formally launched, it's already making waves in opinion polls and public discourse, threatening to disrupt the Labour Party's long-standing grip on the UK left. Polls suggest that Your Party is polling strongly enough to challenge Keir Starmer's Labour. Some surveys even hint at the possibility of unseating Starmer himself in his own Holborn and St Pancras seat. But what does this really mean? Is the UK on the cusp of a radical political realignment? Or is this a temporary protest wave that will fade under the weight of electoral realities? Let's unpack the full story, the political stakes, economic contexts, and historical precedents to understand what's truly unfolding. I'll examine this under several headings. The first is polling surges and political stakes. How serious is Your Party? Multiple polls put Your Party's support between 8% and 15% nationally, a remarkable figure for a party yet to establish itself officially with candidates, policies, or an electoral machine. The most eye-catching is a Find Out Now survey showing it neck and neck with Labour at 15%. Doesn't this suggest deep voter dissatisfaction with Starmer's leadership? Alright, why does this matter? Starmer's hold on Labour is no longer ironclad. For years, the Labour right wing has consolidated control, but disillusionment with centrist policies and alleged Thatcherite tendencies has pushed grassroots members and voters towards alternatives. Your Party's promise of a truly radical left alternative appeals to younger voters and those disenchanted with mainstream politics. The risk of vote splitting on the left could hand unexpected wins to Conservatives or smaller right-wing parties, reshaping parliamentary arithmetic. But even the most optimistic polls place Your Party well behind the Conservatives nationally. So the question becomes, is Your Party poised to win power or simply to influence Labour's agenda in order to stop the Tories taking over? Next, the financial backdrop, costs, crowdfunding, and economic stakes. Your Party's rapid rise is supported by a swell of grassroots funding and membership enthusiasm. Nearly 750,000 people have expressed interest or signed up in less than a month, outpacing some established parties. Crowdfunding and membership dues have already raised millions, funding local organising and campaign infrastructure. But by comparison, Labour's annual fundraising runs into tens of millions. So while impressive, Your Party still needs to build a sustainable financial base to contest the general election effectively. This financial context matters because electoral success requires resources, not just support. From advertising and staffing to candidate vetting and compliance with election laws. Alright, now let's look at the geopolitical angle. Left resurgence amid global uncertainty. The rise of Your Party occurs against a backdrop of geopolitical turmoil, including ongoing tensions in Europe and the Middle East, which shape UK voters' concerns about security, trade, and especially immigration. Economic uncertainty tied to post-Brexit trade challenges, global inflation, and energy crises. and a worldwide wave of left-wing political revivals seen in movements from Latin America to parts of Europe, reflecting dissatisfaction with neoliberal orthodoxy. Your party's foreign policy rhetoric emphasizes peace, anti-imperialism, and solidarity with oppressed peoples, contrasting sharply with mainstream Labour's more moderate international stance, potentially appealing to a global justice-minded electorate, but risking alienation of centrists concerned with national security. Now, let's consider the historical and policy context. How did we get here? The political fractures that birthed your party have deep roots. Labour's rightward drift since Tony Blair's New Labour era, culminating in Starmer's tenure, has left many on the left feeling unrepresented. Corbyn's own leadership from 2015 to 20 energised the base but struggled against establishment forces and media hostility. Historic parallels abound from the Social Democratic Party split of the 1980s, which weakened Labour, to UKIP's fragmentation of the Conservative vote post-Brexit. Policy-wise, austerity's lasting scars, the failure to fully reverse public service cuts, and the climate crisis create fertile ground for a new party promising public ownership, wealth redistribution, and a green transition. Now, let's think about economic theories and critiques. What does your party actually stand for? Well, your party's early outlines draw on several economic schools. Modern monetary theory advocates argue that sovereign currency issuers like the UK can fund large-scale public investments without default risk, enabling ambitious welfare and green projects. Keynesianists emphasize government spending to stimulate demand and reduce unemployment. But balancing these are critiques from monetarism and neoliberalism. Skeptics warn that excessive public spending risks inflation, market distortions, and reduced competitiveness. Understanding these debates is critical because your party's policy platforms will need to balance ambition with economic realities to withstand criticism from technocrats and market fundamentalists. If your party were to succeed, how would this turnaround look? Well, for your party to transform from a polling phenomenon into government, a few things would have to happen. Institutional building is essential. Candidate recruitment, local party branches, and campaign funding. Strategic alliances or electoral pacts could be necessary to avoid splitting the left-wing vote. Winning the trust of working class voters, ethnic minorities, and swing constituencies requires clear, practical policy proposals. Labour's response will be crucial. Will it embrace left-wing reforms or double down on centrist policies? Let's focus in on one aspect of the new party's interests, which is the case for nationalisation and public control. Your party's emphasis on public ownership echoes earlier successful campaigns in UK history. The post-World War II Labour government's nationalisations, coal, rail, utilities, laid the foundation for welfare state expansion. Recent debates over energy and rail privatisation, with their attendant price hikes and service issues, bolster calls for renationalisation. Economically, public control is seen as a tool to redirect profits to social investment rather than private shareholders. Critics warn against inefficiency and bureaucratic bloat, but supporters argue that nationalisation is essential for a just transition to a low-carbon economy and secure public services. Okay, shall we preempt the critics now? What are the political risks and legal constraints? Well, there are vote-splitting risks. A divided left could hand parliamentary majorities to conservative or far-right forces. There are concerns about media hostility. Establishment outlets remain wary of Corbyn and his allies, shaping public perceptions. And there are electoral system challenges. First past the post disadvantages new parties unless they concentrate regional support. There are also legal hurdles. Official party registration, funding transparency, and election compliance require rapid, competent organisation. So, is this a political earthquake or just a tremor? Your party embodies a powerful statement of dissatisfaction with the status quo, a hunger for radical change and a genuine alternative to Labour's centrist politics. But transforming momentum into power will require navigating a minefield of strategic, financial and political challenges. The stakes are high. Will the UK's left renew itself through new politics, or will division open the door for more right-wing dominance? As the country inches towards the next general election, all eyes will be on Corbyn, Sultana and the Your Party movement, the political wildcard of our time. In a democracy, the choice to challenge established power is both a risk and a necessity. Your party might be the shake-up the UK needs, or it could become a cautionary tale about fragmentation in politics. I've been Mike Sivier, and it's time to buy me a coffee. That means donating cash to keep me going. Donate more than £20 and I'll give you a free copy of my reissued first book, Strong Words and Hard Times. I'm waiting on a proof copy of a new book, and then I'll offer you that instead. Subscribe to the video mailing list, like and comment on this video clip, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you do all of that, you'll be helping keep this channel alive, and then you'll be able to see me in the next one.